Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started so that we don't have to take everyone's time. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate everyone coming on this journey with us as we move the in-person meeting from Orlando to a virtual platform. This has been something of a ride for all of us, but we appreciate everyone's patience and everyone's willingness to come along and do this with us. I think we have really found what we think is a really successful platform. We've engaged in a lot of different platforms, learned a lot of lessons, still learning a lot. And I will tell you, we're using Cadmium CD, which was a brand new product for us this year for all of the submissions. So all the work that you've already been doing and you've seen a little bit of their stuff. And it's been quite a learning curve from the very jump before we even moved to coronavirus. But I think this is going to be something that will meet the needs of everybody. Our annual meeting in person isn't perfect for everybody. So the virtual platform isn't perfect for everybody, especially, when you want those in the hallway bump-ins with people, but we're going to do our best to try and find every way to have engagement that we can. So I'm going to start with a screen share and show you guys a little bit about what the platform can do and what your options are. And if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt me at any time. I'm happy to kind of jump through because if you have that question, I'm sure other people do as well. So here we are, we're going to get started. So all of you have been, I don't know why there we go. So all of you are organizers of sessions that have been invited to be part of our live stream. We are planning the conference to take place over 2 weeks now, and that's really because, as you know, ESA has like 3,000 presenters. So over 2 weeks, you're bound to be able to see every session you want to. We've been joking in the office or the virtual office that you'll never miss a pollinator talk again, which is kind of the #1 complaint we get on our evaluations each year. But in terms of the live stream, we are having 4 days in the middle of the meeting that will be our live stream days. And that's going to be Monday, see, typo already, finished these slides this morning, Monday, November 16th through Thursday, November 19th. Nope, I was looking at the wrong column. So over those days, we're going to have 5 channels of live streaming, one for each of our sections and one for our plenary. So in the live stream options, presentations can be live, so just like this, being given just like this on Zoom, or pre-recorded, uploaded for playback. You can, if you choose not to be part of the live stream, I'm also going to show you what on-demand looks like on the platform. And if you're looking for a truly engaging, interactive format, we can link you to third-party platforms. So like I said, we're doing live stream over 4 days on 5 channels. There'll be a plenary channel, one for each of our sections, and the core live stream hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. We have up to 10 hours of live stream available, so it is possible for sessions to start 2 hours before or end 2 hours after that, but the primary piece of all of our content on those 4 days will be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And certainly we're not expecting... And certainly we're not expecting everyone to be online with us for 10 hours over those 4 days. Anything presented on the live stream will be recorded and captured and available for on-demand playback the following day. So again, if you miss it, if you want to go to if you are actually feeling conflicted and there's something else in the 5 channels that you want to see at the exact same time, you can view it for playback the following day, and all of your presentations will be available for playback the following day. Already, we are planning to have many of our plenary sessions in the live stream. So our opening plenary, the Founders Memorial Lecture, the closing plenary, and all of our section business meetings will be in the live stream, as well as you, if you choose to, as Symposium Organizers can be in the live stream, and then our Antlion Pit presentations. Right now, the 4 sessions you see start at the top are continuing from our in-person meeting, will not have content taking place at the exact same time as them. So that when the opening plenary is scheduled live, nothing else will take place during the opening plenary. Nothing else will take place during our section business meetings, founders lecture in the morning, and our closing plenary. So all of those are kind of blacked out times, so you won't have any of your symposia competing over those sessions. But other than that, just like ESA's meeting in person, all the other content will kind of overlap with each other, at least it's only 5 sessions instead of 30 sessions like we have normally. If you choose, so for sessions not taking place in the live stream and that are in the on-demand playback option, it'll be symposia that have chosen either not to go in the live stream or haven't been selected for the live stream. All of our 10-minute presentations will be available for on-demand playback. And again, this is over that 2-week period from the 11th through the 25th. All of our e-posters will be available for viewing over the 2 weeks, and the student competition in both of those categories. So really, 80% of our content will be on demand over those 2 weeks. The live stream's probably only covering about 20% of our content, and that's with the symposia and the plenary sessions. But most of our content will be available and open all that time. And then by the time you get to the end of the towards the end of the scheduled session, everything will be available for on demand starting the 20th and on. So you could watch anything you want whenever you want. In addition to what I'm going to show you a little bit on today, we're also going to be hosting our committee meetings on the platform. We're going to have some games, some trivia, polls, some video chats as Q&A with speakers, virtual happy hours, virtual coffee hours. All of that's going to run through this platform that hopefully will add some of that engagement piece that we know we're missing in a virtual platform, so that like hallway conversations and networking that you're not going to miss out, but this is hopefully going to close the gap a little bit on those pieces. So let me stop there for a minute and ask if anyone has any questions. I've seen a couple of things pop up, but I can't see them over here, Bex.
Yep. So Bill had asked if the slide deck is going to be available. So just so everyone knows, I am recording this session and can make this available to everyone afterward if you wanted to share it with any of your co-organizers who may be unable to attend this. And then it was also asked just like what symposia weren't selected for live streaming. And I was still in the process of typing out my reply, but we are unable to accommodate all symposia in the live stream. So the planning committee selected those that they felt would be of the most interest to our attendees, that would be the most engaging to be featured on the live stream. And so those of you on this call have been are part of that set of symposia that the program committee felt would be the best fit for live stream of the most interest to be done live. And so if you have additional questions about how that happened, feel free to let us know. That's all I have.
I will also add that we have a handout too that kind of captures all the presentation formats we'll be sending after this as well and make available to everybody. And if the additional piece of, if you as an organizer choose not to be in the live stream, we do have a list of symposia to reach out to next, who could be invited in. So potentially if all of you decline, we could be rolling that invitation on down, and then everyone may get accommodated if they want. Just see how it plays out. So what I wanted to show you is, this isn't our current website yet because we're still building it, but this is what our website will look like. And so you'll land, this will be the home page of the virtual platform. It is mobile friendly as well, so you can also watch all of these presentations on your phone or tablet if you choose. But what we'll be doing is creating the 5-channel live stream links right here up at the top. So anything appearing in the live stream, you'll automatically be linked on those 4 days to what's taking place right then and there. So it is going to be just like a session room where you have a symposia block of time, a break, another symposia block of time taking place throughout the 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. day. And all of that will link right here. So you're kind of front and center for the attendees to kind of get a chance to see what's going on. So in the live stream platform, it kind of is a dual platform. So the presentation sits within this framework. And so that's what I'm going to show you guys here. So your presentation pieces are here. And I'm going to show you, we're going to talk a little bit on the back end that powers this. But all of the presenters and all the presentations will be shown here. In the framework, you're going to have these 3 areas where we're going to have a help area that talks people through how to connect, how to improve viewing and playback. There is then a discussion board that features here where the audience can engage and talk to each other as a presentation is going on. And then there's a questions forum where people can ask questions. You can vote up that question if you really want to be sure that speaker answers that or that moderator answers that question. It can accommodate both technical questions from our tech hosts as well as to you, the moderator, for your speaker. And so you can be tracking questions there. And we'll talk about a kind of the Q&A format at the end. So all of those pieces are there as the framework of the platform. But then really what's powering this is you as a moderator and all of your speakers will be connecting to Zoom with a technical director that will then be driving what appears right here in the framework. And so I'm going to show you what a couple of these look like in playback. So excuse me while we go to something live. So again, we're looking at that website that had kind of the same tile feature that we'll be having. We'll be linking to all 5 of our channels right here. And then let me make sure you can hear a little bit of audio. So this is what you, with the technical director and all your speakers, will be powering through and creating.
Hi, everyone. My name is Linda Baker, and I am the president of Conference Managers. I'm
just going to kind of pause it there.
Excited to see we have over 700
of other presentations. So the technical director on the back end, just like Zoom, will be changing up your screen shares, bringing in your speakers, bringing up their slides, and anything else that needs to be on screen with you, moving you from presentation to presentation.
Offers. Questions?
Attendees and exhibitors for my August meeting. Participation goals.
And this is from a presentation Becky and I attended on this, specifically on this platform and creating virtual meetings. So again, it's not you as the moderator having to do that. There will be a technical director to do that for you too.
Which contributes to lower.
Now, these were all presentations recorded live. If you want your presenters to pre-record their presentations, if they're feeling a little iffy about the tech requirements, you can do that. And then the technical director on the back end can go from your live presentation or to you as the moderator, queuing up that presentation to then playing that presentation back to live presentation. So again, you have the flexibility of like having somebody present live and do it right there, or you have the ability to play back the presentation that's already pre-recorded. Did I hear a question? Okay. I'm going to show you a second version of this. So this is another conference that was virtual, and they go from presentations here straight into a panel discussion.
And I think that we're on the cusp of this change between thinking about wind as
it's really awful.
last couple of years in the market. I think that what's going on right now in COVID-19.
And then what I like about this presentation, and let's see if I can like get it right, is in between the symposia, you have kind of this countdown to when the next one's coming up, what's coming up next, and then just kind of some slide reminders on what's going on with the meeting itself for the society. So again, this is a live stream that captures multiple sessions in one of them, but then is broken up with the breaks in between, I think a 10 to 15 minute break in between each one of them.
Rosita, we just got a question from Erica on what type of accommodations are available, for example, closed caption or interpreters for live sessions.
Yep, we can do both. And so we're working through what the best option is. Yes, so we are definitely going to have closed captioning. I don't know the exact format details, whether it is going to appear in a box here or if it's going to be text along the bottom. Our developers are working on both options, and so we're waiting to see what looks to be the most successful. But I think our what would likely be is live closed captioning here in a box that would be following along. And same thing too, if we needed sign language interpreters, and we are collecting that as part of the registration information, if we need that, then this box would appear with a sign language interpreter right here.
And then Carly asked, if I understand correctly, if we opt out for live stream, some of our presenters can, or if we opt for a live stream, some of the presenters can still pre-record their talks.
Yes, so that's what I'm going to show you next. So this is the live stream played back, whether you pre-record your presentation or your presenters connect live to do it there. If you want to do an on-demand presentation, what we have the ability and what 80% of our content will be is slides and audio recorded together, and that is done directly in the platform when your presenter uploads their talk. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and I'm going to have to show you through the back end because this system likes to log me out very quickly. So we're logging as Becky. She's our super user. And similar to just like how you're logging into the platform and creating, finishing up all your tasks, I'm logged as Becky as a test presenter. And here I'm going to record my presentation audio. So I've already uploaded the slides, and now it's time to record my presentation audio. These are the slides that are already uploaded. They take about 2 to 3 minutes to upload, to then, once you've uploaded them, for them to appear here. But you click on each individual slide, and you can start recording your audio right now. Listen to your audio playback after you've done that for the slide and decide if you like it or hate it. So here I can preview it back. Do I listen to your audio playback? I can save the recording. I can delete and start over. If I save the recording, then I move on to the next slide and start my recording there. So this is super easy. I don't know if anyone had done presentations back with Convex, but the playback and recording option was much more complicated. So I like that we have this ability to do audio to each individual slide. You don't have to go for a 10 straight minute presentation. You can, decide I did or did not like the audio on that one. And then again, save the recording or delete and start over. Once you've done all of that, this is what it looks like for playback. Again, we gotta log in as Becky because it would have logged me out before we came back here. This was the beginning of the website when we thought we were still gonna have a live presentation, and now we're starting to play with what all the features look like. So I'm logged in as Becky, and now I can view the slides and audio for playback.
It'll show me what
I'm just going to make it full screen because it's easier to see.
It'll show me what my maximum.
You can advance the slides.
As you can see,
Get the audio playback, and then this is just us playing with audio, so I'm sure it's terrible. I'm not even sure what we're saying.
let me tell, spending a lot of time.
And that's how easy it is. Again, this plays back both on the website, and it's mobile friendly as well, so you can listen to all of these presentations playback straight on your phone or your tablet. So I'm going to stop there. Any questions?
David asked, can you pre-record within, hold on, actually, let me read this. Can you pre-record within the platform for multiple presentations and have a pre-record string with users and remote different sites? Actually, David, do you mind hopping on your audio and asking this? Because I'm not 100% sure I understand your question.
So some of us that have, I guess, co-presenters who both want to get in there, kind of like a team presentation or a workshop, which is kind of sort of what we had planned. Since we're going to be remote, I'm in Florida, someone somewhere else. Can we get in there, kind of live stream, record it for maybe a pair that doesn't want to live stream, but we still need the platform to kind of get together, do our co-presenting / workshoppiness, and then record it within the platform? Or do we have to find a platform to do it ourselves and then upload?
So if it's live streamed, they've given us a resource to do recording. I don't know if that resource takes multiple speakers. I think it might, because it looks pretty robust. Although I think potentially you could record something in Zoom and then do it. I will show you an option for something that you're looking to be, because we are going to offer third-party options to do Zoom and do for our workshops, to do something really interactive. So that may be a good opportunity for you. But we can help you look to see if the pre-record option that they've given us allows you to bring in multiple speakers. I think it does because it looks pretty robust, but I'm not 100% sure. So I will have to get back to you on that. Cool. So that's the on-demand option if you choose not to be in the live stream. For our on-demand symposia that aren't part of the live stream, so you won't have that live Q&A, you can have the option of scheduling video chats. So while your presentations will be available for the 2 straight weeks for viewing, you can schedule a video chat, multiple video chats with all of your speakers, so that audience members can come and ask your speakers questions live if you want. This is the same format we'll be using for all of the ESA committee meetings. Several mixers are going to be using this. It is it's a nice way to kind of end cap your presentations that are already happening, but still bring all of your speakers together, especially with an audience that may want to come ask them things. And so we can schedule 1 or 2 or 3 video chats on the same topic where you have your speakers come together if you want, or some of your speakers, you may not be able to get all of them at the same time, to do these video chats just to have a little bit more engagement. And those can be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour if you want. The platform can accommodate up to 75 people, but from the hosts, they say that 20 is kind of best because that's maximum what you see on the screen here. So that's an additional option. And then, like I was saying, if you are planning a workshop, if you're one of our organized meetings and you're looking to do something incredibly interactive, we can link out to Zoom or GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting as an additional option so that you can have both going from your presentation to back to maybe breakout rooms or discussions, back to presentations, so it moves a little bit more seamless. On the Cadmium platform at this moment, those would require multiple sessions, so you'd be in a session, you'd leave a session, go into another session, so that might be harder. But here on this, using Zoom, moving to breakouts is a little more seamless, and so that's definitely an option for you. I will say that one of the limitations is that we aren't going to be able to host that for you, mostly because if you're an organizer that's doing things like polling or breakout rooms, you're going to want to maintain those controls to move people around. So if ESA sets us up for you, then we're doing all of that for you. We generally aren't in your symposia. There is actually too many going on at one time. And then so kind of going back to the live stream, making sure that it's clear that all of that and the backend is hosted on Zoom. You are given a technical director who follows a run of show. The run of show is going to be created directly from the schedule documents that Becky has sent you to create kind of the outline of the whole day, really, of all the symposia taking place in that live stream that day. And just as so that you know, the audience view and the presenter view is different. So on the back end, on the Zoom end, if you want all of your presenters to be able to see the presentations as they play back, the technical director recommends that all being live presentations, because the video presentations wouldn't show to your speakers. So if you have a whole group of speakers that are really excited to hear each other talk and see the presentations, then you're going to want to encourage all of your speakers to do it live, because the they won't be able to see the pre-recorded until they go back and watch it on demand later. So that's just one limitation. This is a sample run of show that we got. So this is going to be created. We'll be having one of these for each day for each of the live stream that kind of walks through how the session will happen. And while this looks daunting, it looks exactly the same as all the scripts we create for the plenary sessions. So what Becky and I will be doing is taking your current schedule just for your symposia, where you're creating what goes in what order, how much time they get, and then we'll be plugging it into Run of Show. We can make edits. This is a live document. It'll be on a Google Drive or Google Drive? I don't even remember what they told me now. Details, really, right? But it'll be something shareable back and forth with the director in advance of the show. But they really don't need a final version till a couple days beforehand. And so this is what the director will use to walk through. And so as you can kind of see, there's going from playing music to playing video to showing slides to going live, playing video. So it can bounce back and forth, and your director can take you all the way through this. Each of our symposia, as a presenter, you'll have both a technical check with a director that'll make sure that each of your speakers who are presenting live have enough bandwidth to connect live, and that they have everything that they need and are set up for success. That'll start taking place about 6 weeks in advance of the meeting, and then about 1 to 2 weeks in advance of the meeting, you as the organizer will host your entire group of speakers for a technical rehearsal, kind of running through the session. It won't run the entire length of the session. It'll be about 30 minutes, but you'll kind of go from switching views of the moderators introducing you, the speaker speaks, the video now plays, back to the moderator, or whatever your run of show directs on that, you'll run through that rehearsal. But another piece that you need to be thinking of in terms of live stream, especially if you're 1 to 2 organizers, is you'll need a moderator to be with your speakers on the Zoom the day of and at the rehearsal. I think you need at least one moderator kind of monitoring your Q&A feed that's taking place in the platform. So whereas you're going to see kind of the Zoom piece if you're logged in with your speakers, there's also the Q&A platform that you as the moderator will see as well, because you'll be using that for questions. But also just kind of good to make sure there's another person watching it for any issues popping up. And then I think you need at least 2 more moderators to engage in the audience, to engage with the audience on the discussion feed. It moves very fast. And I imagine that a lot of people will have a lot of things to say. And so you may want to be able to have somebody like answering kind of questions or chit-chatting back and forth to be part of that. So I think if you don't have enough organizers already on your symposia, we're happy to help find you volunteers or other people in the sections that may that can help you out. But it's something to be thinking about. What I've been saying to a lot of people, especially with our planning committee, is I don't think this is more work than when you host a symposia live at the meeting. It's just different work. So less up and down and less running after people in the hallway and more of watching the chat going on. And we are planning to have kind of a moderator training in advance of the meeting that actually even includes things like identifying and stopping online harassment as a piece of it for all of our moderators, especially those in the live stream. So those are the pieces on being successful. I saw a question pop up.
Yeah, Bill was asking if, just double checking that we are suggesting that each symposium should ideally have 3 to 4 co-organizers.
I think so, or we can help you start recruiting additional volunteers to help you with that too, especially ones that would have been planning to be in the session. Yes, I just think that more hands on deck to be watching kind of all the conversations happening on is helpful. And then I think at least one of you as an organizer will want to be with your speakers too, moderating on the back end. What I did leave off of this slide is to also say, in addition to kind of your show overrun document that connects you with your director and your and being the moderator on the back end, they also are setting up Slack channels for all of our organizers for each of the live streams to kind of ping back and forth any upcoming issues with what's going on live. So whereas Becky and I aren't going to be able to watch every live stream happening at once, we'll be on Slack channels with you, kind of getting an update on what's going on. So you'll have kind of your technical director, you'll have access to the Slack channel to see what's happening, and you'll have access to kind of us over those. Between now and then, really, you have access to us a lot.
And then Jack asked if the people who are helping like with the discussion and the Q&A feed, he's asking, should these people be presenters or should not be presenters?
So I don't think they should be presenters unless they are presenters who are not presenting in that time block, because you'll have a break. You at least have 1 or 2 breaks during your live stream. So you can switch out your presenters then who are connected to Zoom. So you could switch presenters who are not yet on the Zoom be part of watching the questions and the chat, and then switch them at the break and go back and forth. So that's definitely an option. And yes, I had thought of that earlier and I meant to mention that. So you could use some speakers. They could be kind of promoted to be like speaker organizers. And then I just wanted to kind of end on, Becky and I are working on creating best practices for presentations and virtual meetings. I know there's a lot of concern about sharing sensitive data. So, recommending that people put that over, if they're gonna put anything, new research, spread it over multiple slides or potentially read it versus putting it in print. Reminding that, videos can't be downloaded. And after the 2 weeks of the meeting, we're not gonna have anything archived that's not approved. We'll be revising our code of conduct around not presenting, or about not sharing and screen capturing data. And we've updated our images around what's shareable on social media and what's not, as well as just some updates even on online harassment too, as part of our new code of conduct for the virtual meeting. And then we're going to be having, in addition, back to kind of thinking about that home screen, we're going to have, the buttons to the live stream, but we're also going to have a button to a staff help desk that's going to be manned most of the times. Hopefully most of the times people are on the platform, where you could get myself or Becky or another wonderful member of ESA staff to help answer any questions related either to the virtual platform or related to your ESA membership. So we plan on having all of those. So I know we've had a lot of questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can have some time to chat, or I can show something if you need it. But hopefully I've given you kind of the confidence that the live stream has a lot of flexibility, especially since we can play back pre-recorded presentations. You have a technical director that holds your hand and walks you through the whole piece of it, so you're not kind of organizing and doing all the screen share yourself and setting presenters. That's somebody else's job. You're just there to kind of get your speakers in order and make sure they show up, and that they stick to their time, or you help cut them off with the director. During live stream, so how many concurrent symposia? It'll be up to 5 because there's 5 live stream channels. And that's kind of the next step, is once you've decided if you want to move forward in the live stream and how much time you need in it, because time that you thought you needed when we were live in Orlando is different than virtual time. And I do encourage everyone to really think about tightening up some presentations, because I'm doing a lot of virtual meetings right now, and I'm, you know, antsy after 4 hours. So tightening up some presentations, getting the time down on those, but take as much time as you need. I'm not trying to say that at all, but definitely think about like the limitations of a virtual audience. Once we have like kind of your new time requirements of your symposia, we're gonna be working with our section leaders probably starting the very first week of August on getting things scheduled down into the live stream. I've got a great plan for that, Becky. It's gonna be kind of so much fun to work through all of that, but we'll be working with section leaders to make sure we don't have overlapping content at the exact same time in the 5 channels. Thanks, Jack, for joining us. And, you know, I know, you know, this is a lot of information all at one time. Becky's going to send you our handout about, you know, all the presentation options, all the connection options, and then she'll be making this recording available to you. But don't hesitate to email or call Becky or myself. Our office numbers go to our cell phones, so we really are as remote and connected as we could be. And we're here to kind of walk you through it. We want all of you to be super successful and to feel like this is the right place for you, or find the right place for you for presenting. And we know that in reality, we're probably gonna have to work with each one of you individually on making sure we find that right balance. And so we're here to do that. So you may be getting these mass emails because, you know, we have over 100 symposia, but we are here and able to walk through all of your options and the best options for you individually as needed. Well, I'm not gonna keep you guys. If you don't have any more questions, then you're welcome to stick around and ask me and Becky anything, or you can pop off and get the additional notes. We're so glad you were able to join us first thing Friday morning. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, so just to sort of reiterate what David was talking about, because it's actually our symposium where we have these 2 workshops that are going to be on the longer side, and they have co-presentators. So I think David and Becky Simmons are actually going to be presenting together on the STEM. If there are co-presenters and they're sort of like switching off, would it be better to pre-record that?
I actually think it would be better live.
Better live?
I think so, but if that is uncomfortable, we will help you find the right recording platform for you.
Okay.
I feel like I'm sorry, I feel like this is something that can be done over Zoom too. I don't know how David feels about that, but I think that Zoom might work well for that, Carly, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's also...
I'm fine live. I was just thinking maybe if somebody was uncomfortable and wanted to pre-record.
Well, I live on Zoom.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think we're still figuring out some scheduling issues, because now that we are a virtual meeting, people aren't really taking off from work or putting in like the off day requests that was easy with travel. So it's kind of up in the air if our speakers are going to be able to do things.
And I would say one of the things I left out, and this will be good for me to update for Monday, if you want to do Zoom for the interactivity, you can choose any of the 2 weeks. So if you want to do the 11th all the way through the 25th, you aren't limited to the live stream days. It gives you a little bit more flexibility. We're limiting the live stream days just because of cost and what it costs us to do live stream. But if you use Zoom, we can link to that out on any of those days, including the weekend if you want.
So is there going to be a decision on which symposium are, which live streams are on which days?
Yep, we'll start working, once we know what symposia are in, we'll start working with section leaders, I think the first week of August, maybe into the second week of August, on creating that schedule. We used to do that all in person, and all of our planning committee would work together on looking over that schedule. But we're going to do it, I think, a little bit more independently with section leaders to create that, and then have kind of an overall mass look at that. But that's probably coming in the next 3 weeks.
All right. Is there any way we could,
Oh,
not this day because 80% of our presenters are in class?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, shoot me an email with that, and I'll keep track.
All right.
Also, if you're working with Becky Simmons, she's setting your schedule. So
yeah, also that too.
her.
She's got power.
For considerations for, ESA is actually pretty international, and I can see people in the EU probably being able to meet these times for live streaming, but people in Asia, whatever, probably going to have more difficulties. Is there been any discussion on that, or are we just expecting them to be pre-recorded?
We do have some time slots that are going to go all the way to 8 or 9 p.m. for some of our later days, so we could schedule those on that. And if that's what your mass group of speakers are, go ahead and put that into the request that you prefer a later time slot in one of the early evening slots, or evening slots, really.
And we do have another one of these webinars scheduled for Monday afternoon at 4 Eastern time. So if any of your co-organizers, or you just know someone else who's organizing a different symposium, if any who's been invited to the live stream, encourage them to attend this if they've got questions, because it'll probably be helpful for them. And if you need me to resend a link to one of your co-organizers, let me know. I'm happy to do that, because I think it's helpful to be able to see it. It helps to visualize what it is that you're agreeing to or not agreeing to. So we would love to have even more of your colleagues join us on Monday as well.
How do we do that? I mean, I'm actually involved with 3 different symposia, so I'm going to be busy. So I just basically request from you and copy them in, or how would I do that?
So all of your co-organizers should, for your sessions that were selected for the live stream, they should have already received an email from me, because I did send it to all co-organizers in addition to what I'm calling session leader. So they should already have it, but if they didn't get it or lost it, just shoot me an email and I'll resend the link and information.
So if we didn't get it for a particular, so there's one symposium I'm involved with that I don't think is going to be live streamed. So if those co-organizers didn't get it, can I assume that one is not going to be live streamed?
So there's a bunch of symposia that I have not emailed yet, because you're kind of like on the second tier of like, if some people drop out, we're going to invite you in. So it's 50-50 at the moment whether that'll end up being in the live stream. So I'm waiting until next week to kind of get a feel for whether or not we'll be inviting more people into the live stream, depending on who opts out at this point. So a lot of things in flux. Sorry.
And we have had sessions opt out of the live stream, so we're not expecting everyone to take us up on it.
Well, I consider this quite valuable.
Good. Good.
I think my doggy sees a squirrel, so my audio may be ending now.
Any other questions? These were great questions. They're helping inform additional things that we address on Monday. Okay. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate your time, and feel free to email me, reach out with additional questions, or whatever else comes up. And thanks for your help in organizing a symposium for our meeting. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Have a good Friday. Happy weekend.
Bye.
Bye.